All right. Now, at the last minute, I decided to separate these two subjects. That is the story that I just shared on the most recent live stream. I wanted to separate that from this subject of what videos go viral. And y'all already know what it is. But before we get into that, reflect on how horrible the videos are or the stories are that I share. Isn't it crazy how little attention they get? But yet, videos like these are the ones that go viral. Videos of criminals fighting cops, running away from cops, pulling out Roscoe's on cops, trying to take the cops' taser, trying to take the cops' Roscoe, doing stupid stuff. These are the videos that people flock to. These are the videos that people want to see. Look at that. Right? Go to this channel. And there are other channels like this. Police activity. And filter starting with the most popular. Look at how many of these videos cracked 1 million views. And look at how many millions so many of these videos have. Really? Y'all think this is more important than a sacrificial cult? Of course. Because all these people are involved in this sacrificial cult, including the cops. Look at this. Cops fatally unalive a man who clearly started busting on the cops. Look at this. A SUV crashes into a police car. People obviously are attracted to things that are shocking. Well, isn't this shocking? Isn't a sacrificial cult shocking? No, it's not shocking. What those videos do, what my videos do, is send them on a guilt trip. What my videos do is make them feel guilty because most likely they're dog lovers themselves. That's the thing about our platforms. People who are critical of dog culture, you got to understand that most people who view and listen to our content are going to be dog lovers. So they're not going to share videos like that. You just made them feel guilty. I just ridiculed you, chastised you for having a dog inside of the home along with the newborn. But when it comes to stories like this, they don't feel attached. They don't feel like one of the guilty parties. They just look at this as entertainment. Look at this. A man pulls out a Roscoe and opens fire on cops. Cops shoot back. These types of videos get millions of views. And if y'all noticed, I haven't watched any of these videos. I'm not attracted to videos like this. I don't even want to see them. I've watched a few here and there, don't get me wrong, but I don't spam watch them. I'm not sitting up here watching one after another after another. I would not subscribe to this channel or no other channel like it. So if you're the same way, understand you are a part of a minority. This is an era where it's actually a good thing to be in the minority. You get some people who feel like outcasts in society. They feel like a loner and things like that because they are not into the things that the masses are into. This is one era where you should be happy to be in the minority. The majority, and this is the way they're trying to structure society. They want the majority of people to be knee deep into degeneracy. We all are aware of this. You got a lot of examples outside of dog culture. They're doing crazy stuff with schools. They're primarily targeting the youth, trying to brainwash them into all different types of degenerate behaviors and cultures, practices. They're trying to make humans and humanity in general more and more degenerate. More degenerate. And it doesn't get any worse than dog culture. It truly doesn't. These people are not committing crimes that are on the same level as those who participate in dog culture. Those who participate in dog culture, they're actually committing far worse crimes than any of the crimes you see in these videos. Oh, yes, they are. You pulling out a Roscoe on a cop. Yes, that's bad. It would be a lot worse if you pulled a Roscoe on a 4-year-old. And actually, pulling a Roscoe on a 4-year-old, that is not as bad as launching a dog on a 4-year-old. At least with a Roscoe, you have a chance at a quick, painless unaliving. Whereas with a dog, all of those have to involve torture. Every single attack it involves torture. It's preceded with torture. Every unaliving is preceded with torture when it comes to dog culture. Dog culture involves more horrific, painful, gruesome deaths. And the victims are usually youngsters. So if you were truly into shock value content and you just wanted to watch something that's shocking and horrible, you would think people would flock to dog attacks. You'd think they would flock to our channels, or at least to mine. And I think a few other people cover news stories. But I'm one of the few channels that cover news stories, which are the most twisted. And I don't blame y'all for not covering these. They're twisted. It's like they're trauma videos. That's literally what they are. They're trauma. It's trauma content. Sitting up here watching. I don't want to watch people torture toddlers. But that's what's going on. And look at this. I mean, these are horrible videos, man. People getting unalived by cops. People unaliving cops. There's a lot of sick lunatics out here in the world. Wasn't it? Man shot after pointing a Roscoe at the police in Ohio. Why people just be drawing on cops? Louisville officer shoots man trying to carjack woman in Walmart. Loaded him up right there. Suspect fires 2 guns simultaneously during a shootout with cops. What in the world? Yeah, that's horrible. That's sick. That's twisted. I'm telling you now, the stories I deal with are worse. They're more inhumane. See, they project, oh, you pull a Roscoe out on a cop, that's so inhumane. No. Bringing a dog into a home where there are youngsters, that's even more inhumane. It most certainly is. This joker is trapped underneath this car. What happened? He was working on the car and the jack fell. Well, that is a tough position to be in right there. But we're still in the millions on this channel. Look at that. Look at the views on these things. But you notice, when it comes to dog attacks, that's the one type of trauma video that people avoid. Because they all are themselves involved in dog culture. See, the stories I cover puts a mirror on the viewer. It seeks to hold the viewer accountable. And the people who subscribe to my channel, support our content, are the people who are not involved in this lifestyle. Now, there are some dog lovers who follow the channel, but there's clearly not that many. They would rather watch crimes that they themselves are not involved in, have nothing to do with. And that's why it's so easy for them to watch these types of videos. So even though both types of content involves fatalities, they are far more drawn to these types of videos. And if I'm not mistaken, when it comes to dog culture, that's like the only type of shocking content that's avoided by the majority of the general public. Most people avoid it. They don't even click the videos. They see it, they see the thumbnail, they read the title, and they say to themselves, uh-oh, that's me. Dog mauled a 12-day-old newborn. Oh, I don't want to watch that. Why? Because I own a dog. And I got a newborn in the other room right now. I don't want that feeling. I don't want to listen to some guy telling me that I'm doing something wrong right here. Let me go look for another video to watch. So it's sad when you put the modern person's mind under a microscope. It is sad. But it clearly needs to be addressed. Nobody else, no other area of society is calling this out. That's the crazy thing about it. Not even the journalists who share the stories. They're all on board with the propaganda, calling them accidents. Oh, there's nobody in the home who is at fault and all this kind of stuff. Make it make sense. Lord, we're still in the millions. The number of videos, and these videos were only uploaded a few years ago. Some of them as little as look, this 3 years ago. They're not even that old. Millions upon millions upon millions upon millions. You would think that the average person is drawn to trauma videos, not when it involves dogs. If dogs are the culprits, if they're the ones carrying out these attacks, nope, it goes against their conditioning. It goes against what they want to believe. They want to believe that these things are, oh, sweet angels on earth. You could not be more wrong. Now, for whatever reason, and this has always happened, to be honest. There are ups and downs when it comes to dog culture critics. And it seems like here recently, there's been a spark in interest as far as dog culture. I've seen some content creators who haven't uploaded content in years are suddenly, all of a sudden, uploading content now. Like I've said, if you are a content creator and you're a dog culture critic, you should, first of all, listen to the long-time content creators, and you should prepare yourself to become drained or exhausted. Prepare yourself to be traumatized yourself. When that happens, you're going to be tempted to close your channel and to stop participating in content creation altogether. I'm telling you, as a longtime content creator, when you get to that point, you simply take a break. Take a break. Because let me tell you, you're never going to change. You're always going to be a dog culture critic for the rest of your life. It's always going to be in you. And after a while, you're going to eventually want to talk about certain stories. You're going to have something that pops into your mind that you want to share with the public. You can't do it if you've closed your channel. Once a dog culture critic, always a dog culture critic. This is not like dog culture. You've heard people come by and try to project us as being no different from dog lovers. Couldn't be more wrong. This is not like dog culture, where it's easy and common for people to no longer like dogs. That happens all the time with dog culture. Confessions all over the internet. I used to like dogs. I used to like dogs. But if you are ever a critic like us, a critic of dog culture, a true critic of dog culture, you will never go back to your old ways, your old way of thinking, ever. You can't unsee this side of the world. It's almost like something that's hidden right in front of people's faces. And the only thing that can do that is the truth. Where you just can't ignore it. You can't turn it off. You can't shut it off. But when it comes to dog culture and loving dogs and being in love with dogs, you can shut that off. People shut it off all the time. Some of the most dedicated dog culture critics used to be dog lovers. There was a content creator, I can't remember his name right now. I think was it Dump Dogs? I think it was Dump Dogs or something like that. And there's been a lot of content creators who've come and gone. He was one of the content creators. He showed up on the scene, made a few videos, and went on to do other things, which is great. Don't feel guilty if you are not, constant or consistent like I am. It's better that you make a few videos and go on to do other things than to never make the videos at all, than to never say anything at all. So I'm thinking it's Dump Dogs. He came through, made a channel, made a few videos, backed away. This dude used to be a dog lover, a dog owner and a dog lover. So there are other content creators who actually used to be dog lovers. I've never been a dog lover. I've always been turned off by them, but I have rubbed on dogs just to, I guess fit in, not offend my company, try to tame the dog, let it know I'm cool, don't attack me. I've been inside of homes with dogs. I've done this, but never again. That proves, if you ask me, that proves that dog culture itself is based on lies and deception. It's not the truth. It's not natural. The truth, what's natural for human beings is to be against dogs. Be against the unnatural. Be against what never should have emerged on this earth in the first place. It always baffles my mind. No matter how hideous and unnatural dogs look or behave, the average person never thinks twice about it. Support what's natural. Don't turn it into a sport to destroy what's natural, which is what they've done, especially when it comes to hunting. They turn it into a sport, so much so where people do it just for fun. They don't even do it for food. You do it for what? Sport. I'm having fun letting loose on a deer, on this animal, on that animal that was not bothering me, not doing anything to me. You unalive this animal, chop its head off, and put its head on your wall. How about we do that to dogs? Let's do that with dogs. They would look at you like a lunatic. Are you crazy? You want to unalive a dog and put its head on your wall? I can see it now. Just rows and rows of dog heads on the wall. Could you imagine a dog lover walking into a home like that? That's all these real, yeah, they're real. I hunted and I unalived all of them. What do you think? They'd have the same reaction as this lady right here. Oh my God. But yet you turned it into a sport to do that with other animals. The human mind right now is so miswired. It's miswired. People are wired wrong. And it's almost every person you run into. They got a dysfunctional, miswired brain. And it's scary. I don't know about anybody else, man. It is scary. People are almost just numb and have no value for the things that they should value most. No value for life. No value for family. No value for community. You shouldn't even have to think about it. As soon as it runs across your mind, I'm going to get a pit bull. You should instantly, no way, I got a family. No way, I got neighbors. My neighbor has a family. I'm not taking the chance of that dog latching on to my neighbor's little girl. But yet these people go through the whole process and they end up unaliving or mutilating someone, if not themselves. And no matter how many examples, no matter how many stories surface, they just continue to do it. Social conditioning is a powerful thing and it's very real. It is crazy how the human mind works, man. It really is. There was a video that I watched by Defenders. I'm going to just call her Defenders. Where she talks about that. About how people, we as human beings, we have a stronger connection to animals that have both of their eyes in front of their head rather than on the sides of their head. Because they look more human-like, and it's more likely that you're going to interpret their facial expressions the same way you would do a human being. So you're going to be more attached to those types of animals, primarily dogs and cats. Now, I've never even reflected on that, but there's a lot of truth to that. But the thing is, we shouldn't even have to give that type of lecture to people. These things are causing funerals. They just unalived your daughter, your son. We shouldn't even have to go through all this. Look at Jacqueline Duran's face. I shouldn't have to lecture you about that. You see how miswired people are. It's so criminal. Who and whatever is responsible for this miswiring, it's shame on you. Shame on you. It's right. It's like a cultist. It's like people are living out this type of satanic lifestyle. Really can't make this up. Now, here's one video I watched. I've watched some of these videos, but to me, it's like it's too. I can't watch too many of these. I just chalk it up as like, hey, okay, there's a bunch of crazy people in the world. I know this. I don't need to watch every video to know what these lunatics are capable of. And you know, what makes people want to crash out like this anyways? Doesn't it suggest there's something that's seriously wrong with society in general? If you got so many crash outs and so many people who just don't value their life, their family's life, their neighbor's life, other people don't value life at all. That's really the biggest problem. I've said this before. When I deal with, no matter which group, demographic I deal with, no matter which race, whatever, the number one problem with all groups is a lack of value for life. A lack of value for yourself. Insecurities. lack of self-esteem. That is the number one problem with all groups. And that fact alone tells you there's something seriously wrong with our culture. Seriously wrong with society in general, because this is global. And people need to get serious. Stop with the goofy videos and your goofball content. You want to get up here and goof off. Take an hour out your day of being goofified and be serious for a change. And talk about something that'll help people. Y'all are so anti-positive. Don't make no sense. And I just had to go on this rant. This little post live rant. Big shout out. Yes. Yes. I mean, if I were a member of, if I was a part of the rulership class, I would be very mindful of whether or not I did something negative or positive to the people. Like, if it were something negative, it would eat at me nonstop. I wouldn't be able to live with myself, knowing that I've put in place things that's going to condition people to do bad things, whether it be to themselves or others. Condition people to sacrifice the safety of their young. I couldn't live with myself if I was involved in that type of social conditioning. But here you got it. Our ruling class is on that level. So we have no choice but to follow the Constitution and police and govern ourselves. And that's going to have to start with our own philosophies, our own ideals, and our own values. It's crazy, right? Our values are the things that everybody's supposed to value naturally anyways. It's what it is, man. The ruling class is against nature. It's against everything that's supposed to come natural. And the number one things that's targeted are the things we're supposed to value naturally. Family, ourselves, our own lives, our neighbors. Shout out to all of you able to join me for these couple live streams. And I hope you can join me on the next as we continue with this crusade.